Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Burning Briefs. I'm your host Class, and I'm doing solo today on this episode because I want to get a chance to talk to you guys about the podcast, where the name came from, and a little bit about my experience working on YouTube and being on it for so many years. And being on so many, if you're not familiar with me, I've been on so many channels. I lost count pretty much. But I want to talk about the name Burning Briefs. So I was watching a documentary series on Netflix called U.S. History or History 101. If you're not already familiar, it was on Class Hall of Fame. Go check that out. It was on Gather Society on my old channel. And on there, it talked about the feminist movement, the female movement and all that. And during that time, and how women were kind of, I want to say taken advantage of in a way, or not taken advantage of, but afraid by the movement. I guess that's a better term to say it. So I was watching, and during the time, women were doing this thing, a protest, where they were trying to show solidarity by throwing their bras and I believe other items, I can't remember, into a trash can to show like, hey, we're not going to be imprisoned by this anymore. And men, I guess at the time, reporters or journalists, I guess they were afraid of that concept. So they decided to say on their headlines on the articles, burning bras. Even though there was no bra ever burned, there was no report of it actually being legit, everybody just went with it. So a lie told 1,000 times eventually becomes true. And in this situation, that happens to be the case. I don't know why my glasses are these like binoculars or oculus, or I can't remember what they call them. Kaleidoscopes, glasses or goggles are so fogged up. Maybe there's like this air breathing situation, because I can't imagine why they would get fogged up. But hey, it is what it is. I'm just going to go with it. But anyways, burning bras made me realize that, people are afraid of things, and they're afraid they will make certain lies or take things out of context or try to manipulate it in a way. So whatever you get on this podcast, it's up to you how you take the context, how we're saying things and all that. You might take it the wrong way, but I just want to let you guys know, everybody that works on this show, from Mr. J to Miss Pi, are good people. I'm a good person. I don't think I have to say that, but I mean, obviously, just to let you viewers know that that's just how it is, that we're not the type of people who actually, condone violence and all that stuff, but we are the type of people that are assertive in our situations when we want to be or when we need to be. So just throwing that out there, letting you guys know a little bit about where the name came from. So I figured I would represent the women in this sense. I mean, obviously I'm not a woman, but to represent in a way by giving my own name of the title, Burning Briefs. So whatever you guys take out of it, or whatever you guys take out of this podcast, is entirely up to you. Now, I want to talk next about where I came from, and from YouTube. And I want to start off when I started my first YouTube channel, which was and it was a movie review channel. It was called Ticket Freaks 212, Ticket Freaks or something like that. And I'll tell you why I actually started this channel. I was watching back in the day on YouTube a lot of this AMC theaters. They would tell you like movies that are coming up. They would tell you opinions on what's going to happen. And there was this one guy, John Cambia, who, I mean, he was a dork, but he seemed like he was happy doing what he was doing, and he just constantly talked about what he loved to do. And eventually AMC Theater hired him. He used to be a YouTube, he quit his job and then he just started doing YouTube constantly on movie reviews. And eventually, AMC noticed, and then they hired him, and then eventually he hired a whole bunch of crew and has made his studio a lot bigger. Now he's working with Collider. I don't know if they're still working together in AMC, because I don't see him that much anymore, but I admire that guy because of it, because he had that courage to do it. So I was like, you know what? I can do some movie reviews. I love doing movie reviews. I love talking about movies. I'm gonna go with it. So, me and my wife, we did our first movie review, I believe, on Man of Steel, and it was fun. But obviously, we had some conflicted schedules, so we couldn't work together all the time on these movie reviews. So I had to do these things solo. During that time, it was a challenge because I kept doing, I had poor camera. I didn't have any great audio. I just had to try to use posters. I had to think about what movies were great, and I tried everything I could to keep the thing flowing. And eventually, I started crafting my editing skills. And I got to give credit for that, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have learned a lot of stuff from it. I literally did this on my own. I didn't just watch a video and go, okay, this is how I edit. No, I had to learn how to edit on my own. It was fun. So I did a lot of movie reviews, but eventually I felt like there wasn't a lot of steam. So I just felt like I needed to give it up, because I kept doing movie reviews from movies of last year. I didn't have the funds to go spend and see the next movie that's coming up, or 100. And I know my wife was not going to go see, or my girlfriend at the time, I guess is a better term, was not going to go see that. But a bunch of movies. So I was like, you know what? I have to give this up. There were a lot of people who did try to encourage me. There were people who were not even my friends or family members. They were like YouTube people who are doing reviews themselves, and they were moving up. And they're very encouraging. I got to tell you, they were a very good group of communities there. But I felt like I couldn't do it. I had to give up my run. After that, I decided I would work on other things, like I thought I was going to give up YouTube, and then I came back because I was like, you know what, why don't I do another channel called the C-Class channel? And this channel, it was experimental. It was like me trying my creative side. So I did music, I did comedy spits and all that stuff. It was fun. But I realized that it really didn't have a direction. I didn't really have an idea where I was going to go with it. So it was kind of all over the place. So I realized, like, maybe I just need to stop doing YouTube. So I gave up at that moment, thinking, that's it. I'm going to give it up. And then I got hooked again into wanting to do another channel, which was Let's Have a Conversation. And the name sounded good at the time, but I realized it's a mouthful. And I was just going to shorten it by saying LHC, sorry, LHC for the whole thing. But I was like, no, it's still a mouthful. And even when I typed it, you couldn't put LHC on there. You're never going to find it. There's so many channels. I thought I was going to switch the name to, Gather Society. Figured, it's like a whole, unity thing. But that was kind of more for me than it was for anyone else. And I felt like the channel, so I had to make a decision at some point. I've gone into many channels, and I decided I got to make a decision on what I'm going to do with my channel. Am I going to stick to Gather Society even though I switched the name and tried? So I talked to my boy Mr. J, I talked to Miss Pi. I asked him a bunch of questions about whether or not but I was contemplating. I had to make the decision myself. This is my channel, I got to make it. So I had to decide whether or not I was going to let the channel I had currently before, which was Let's Have a Conversation, which switched the name to Gather Society. I know. I was going to work on that channel. I already had subscribers on there, and I could have just built on that steam or that momentum. Or I had to decide I was going to try a new channel and start from the way bottom again. And this year seemed like, if you look at my channel, everything is all over the place. From my Gather Society, Let's Have a Conversation channel, it's all over the place. So I realized, I want to start the channel. I want to start a channel where it looks good, it's good, it's ready, it's not the best of the best, but it's good enough at this point, so that way I can build from it. And I felt like I needed to start anew with that. Now, granted, I don't have the same subscribers at this moment, obviously, but I want to appreciate the subscribers I get. So that's why I'm trying to do this thing where I'm doing shout outs on my Instagram, which is CClass90. You can find me on there. And, I'm trying to do shout outs on my stories, letting everybody know that I appreciate the subscribers. If I know who they are, if they tell me who they are, I'll, do a shout out, appreciate them. And because I want to let you guys know that every person I get is really appreciated. Because I'm not doing no GoFundMe page or Patreon account or anything like that. I'm literally I just need you to subscribe to the channels. That's it. Subscribe to this channel. That way I can build from there. Hopefully years from now, when we're looking back at this video, we can laugh at it together. Maybe we'll have other people. Maybe I'll be with other people at that time. You never really know. The future holds a lot of interesting stuff. I like to think of it that way. Um, what else? I mean, I could tell you a little bit about myself, just to kind of end the show on a really positive note. I'm an easygoing guy. I'm a very challenging person when it comes to debating. Like, I really am very competitive in that way. When it comes to sports, I'm not like that. Like, it's just fun for me on that. I don't even watch sports, to be honest. Maybe you guys might not want to like listen to me after this, or for all the other guys out there. I listen to like a lot of rap, but only certain artists. You know, like certain selective hip hop artists. I don't listen to a lot of music. That's the crazy thing. I love a lot of TV shows. I love to be engaged in observations on certain things. I like to figure things out. I'm very puzzled in that way. I don't know why it is. Um, yeah, I'm a pretty easygoing guy. That's pretty much all I can really say at this point until you guys get to know me a little more, until I get more conversations for you guys to hear about. I'm just going to end it on that note, just kind of leave it. So if you guys like this, do what you guys got to do. Please share or subscribe to the channel. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I'm going to send you guys a podcast once I actually find which website or which app I'm going to use to do my podcast and put it out there for. Catch you guys later. Peace.